Good morning and welcome to Samadhi Game. Today we're expanding the narrow room. We all come with a certain vision, a certain idea of how big life is. And today we want to expand that. We do that every day that we do Samadhi Game. Every day that we tune into these mantras, every day that we tune into the expression of our enlightenment, we're expanding our narrow room. We're trying to find a way to get beyond the normal views that we hold that are so shared with really the mass consciousness. And the idea of Samadhi Game is to provide a tool that helps us and allows us to break out of that mass consciousness, to expand our room. It takes a certain amount of planning and of patience and of consistency, day after day after day, applying yourself to the vision that you have. Even if you're building a house, if you're adding on a room or making a room larger in your house, it takes a certain architectural plan. It takes a certain fortitude. You have to find the contractor. The contractor may not work out because he just proves himself in time that he doesn't share your same vision. And you may have to change contractors. You may have to purchase more materials than you thought. In the same way with Samadhi Game, day after day, as you take on these mandalas of light that this manifesto of Samadhi Game is, these mandalas will push the boundaries of your walls. They'll expand the walls into a new dimension. Every day you will add new wisdom, new love, and new power to your life by giving these mantras. If you haven't already done so, you can download your free copy of Samadhi Game at samadhigame.com. You can put it on your mobile device, or you can put it on your computer as a PDF. And you don't need either of those when you do these broadcasts with Robbie and I. All you need is to come and see, because we'll put the image of these words on the screen for you to see, and you can just join in along with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very well.
I was talking about expanding your narrow room, expanding the room so that we have a bigger, more beautiful vision of who we are, and can embrace some of the ideas of enlightenment. We've been expanding the house and doing some construction, and it's been really quite a long-term process, and trying to get all the pieces together and all of the personnel together and all of the materials together, and it takes a constancy and a patience to continue on until finally
You get the puzzle. It works.
it works.
Everything fits.
And
Perfect.
then you have a brand new consciousness, a new dimension, a new paradigm to live with. That's very interesting. New patterns of walking, of being, of seeing.
Yeah, ours is pretty drastic, but it's not really. But it's I was saying last night that even if you have your home, just to switch it up a little bit, switch with your kids. Switch
That's
the
right,
kids'
that's right.
room. Let them be having the master bedroom and back and forth. It adds a whole new aspect to the life instead of it being same old, same old.
Yeah, switch it up. Move things around. Move your furniture around. I've had friends that do that. They move their furniture around in different places, and just see how things look differently in different places.
Yeah. Well, ours is not a lot more stuff, but
the feng shui of your space can be changed by using the mantras. And you can use the mantras in different patterns.
Yeah.
You can start off in the middle. You can end at the beginning. You can start at the end and end at the beginning. You can use all sorts of different patterns through the Samadhi Game Manifesto so that it actually is a way of expanding your room. It's not just from the beginning to the end. It's from any place in the mantra in the book to any other place. You can jump around as you feel. And as you start to tune into the mantras, you'll find that different mantras call you at different times.
Or you can wake up in the morning and say, what do I want to change in my life today? What do I want to emphasize?
Yes.
Then you do the mantra for it, and it comes. It works.
So let's start off today with this mantra of blessing of spiritual giants.
Ooh, nice.
I'd like to call in the blessing of spiritual giants right away. This is something that oftentimes we end with, but I'd like to call it in to begin with. Let's see if we have the right. Yes, we do. Okay, so let's go ahead and give this mantra today to start with. It's blessings of spiritual giants, and all these spiritual giants that are written in yellow, in gold, you can change to your own. Otherwise, come on and join with us and say these names, because as we say these names together, there becomes a resonance, and we'll call them into us in a more powerful way. So come on. O Saint Germain and the Ascended Jesus, Milarepa, Kuan Yin, and Bodhidharma, Claire de Lys, Lanello, and Sir Laugh-A-Lot, Paramhansa Yogananda, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and Hans Baba, Babaji, Gautama Buddha, and the Angel Deva of the Jade Temple. We invoke your radiant hope and constant blessing for the world. O majestic Samadhi of active peace, potent knowing, and invited healing love and compassion. I am, transmuting and consuming everything but the eternal light of perfection.
These purifying
flames effusing the love, light, and joy of the universe, governing, educating, and protecting all flux in the Akashic, mental, emotional, and physical pranas, chakras, and meridians of humanity, Terra, and her elements, liberating divine love and freedom, which is, was, and is to come, the everlasting nectar of Samadhi. We ended, I think, last time with this mantra, and we made the point of how this picture here of Saint Germain, the Holy Brother, is holding in his hands this Merkaba, and how we can use our hands to focus energy. And I really want to emphasize that as you're giving these mantras, you can create your own mudras. You can copy mudras from the Buddhas. You see them sitting like this or like this. You see them sitting different ways.
But what when you hold different fingers, what does it mean?
This is air, fire, water, and earth. Air is the index, fire is the middle finger. That's why, when you...
But why would you hold different fingers?
This is the etheric, this is the center quadrant, this is this etheric matrix. And so the etheric is your spiritual self. And you're saying, please balance my spiritual self with my mental self.
With earth.
With my fire self, with my water self, with my earth self.
Okay, but water self means what in emotions?
Water is the emotions.
Okay,
it is the pranas.
Earth is
the little finger. Little finger. Earth is an element. It's an element of stability, of stillness, of quiet. If you really want to get into a very still meditation, press the little finger and hold, and then you can feel the stillness coming through. If you get real sensitive, you have to be sensitive to these things. Fire. And air has to do more with the mental body, the emotional body, the mental body, the emotional body, and the personality is this fire. The fire.
That's the middle.
The middle finger. So that's the different fingers.
And the first one?
Air or mental body. So you're asking for the balance of the mental body when you hold this this first finger. So these are different mudras that you can use in order to accentuate your mantras. And when you get really good at your mantras, you can sit and you can read from your computer or your mobile device, and you can set it down on a little support and read them and hold your fingers and start feeling the differences. And when you stop at the end of each of these poses, if you will, these yoga poses of word, you can stop and feel the effect. Just like when we do the yoga. The Hatha Yoga, we stop after each pose, and we say, wow, what's the effect of that? I just did the left foot. I can feel the energy running in the left leg. when I did the left leg with the tree pose. Now I'm going to do the right leg, and oh gosh, now afterwards I can feel the energy flowing in the right leg. So after each of these poses, you can go, oh, how did that change my consciousness? And then you can combine it. So I feel a little bit more fiery after that. So you can
And I need to ask, like purple, what element on Earth does that correspond with? Do they have colors for each?
Well, it probably. I mean, you know,
because when people read the Samadhi, you have
color
coordinated
codes.
it.
I would say, okay, just on the top of my head, I would say that the index finger is probably more akin to the golden color, because it deals more with the mental body. And the highest form of the mental body is the Christ consciousness, the crystalline Christ consciousness, that we can all manifest here and now. The middle finger, the fire finger, would probably be associated more with red, because it has to do with fire, you know, this energetic component that I'm wearing red today. It's more of a fiery thing, because I was feeling a little bit exhausted after all the work we've been doing the last few days. I thought I need to put on something that energizes me, so I put on the color red. The third finger here is the ring finger, is the emotional body, the water. So that would be more like blues, aquas. And all of those colors can come and go. You can feel them and the nuances of each one and what they would affect in consciousness. And the fourth finger, the little finger, would be more attuned to the color of earth tones, browns, and maybe even deep purples.
What about green?
And greens. I would say green is a combination of the yellow and red, isn't it? Yellow and red.
No,
is,
blue and
blue.
Green is blue.
Blue.
And
Okay,
yellow.
blue and yellow. So you've got these two fingers, and sometimes you do other mudras. You can contact three fingers together as well. So there you have green.
And while you're doing this, you're thinking of the colors, or you're thinking of the consciousness?
You can think of it, and the more you visualize, the more exact you get in your visualization, the more profound the effect of the mantras and the visualizations will be. The more precise you can get, and we don't want to take it too far, but as you get better and better with this, so when you're riding a bicycle, when you first learn to ride a bike, you don't want to try to ride without hands.
Right.
But finally, you can get up and say, I can ride without hands. I can even wave to people as I'm waving, you know. So as you get better and better at this, you can get your visualizations become more and more powerful and more exact, and you build, just like we're building with expanding our narrow room, expanding the room, the house, you're building upon other structures. So first you lay down the foundation, and then you put out the walls, and it just keeps growing and growing. So let's go ahead and go on and give some more of these mantras.
Please.
I'd like to go to the roaring white lion transmutation. This is a rhythmic mantra, and it has a certain rhythm that attunes itself to the ancient cultures that used a lot of rhythm. So let's go ahead and go on.
Om
Vata fire, Om Vata flame, Om neutral witness, dissolving fear and shame. I am violet light of wisdom, joy, and grace, transmuting all desire. I am planet trace. I am amethyst crystal, roaring hot white lion, a chemical purple cauldron, Perusa's light I am. As the vast blue ocean, a rosy ruby stone, golden rays of sunrise, ignited ego throne. I am diamond silence, gleaming on the violet way, scintillating prana, truth, dharma, the way. Om Vata fire, Om Vata flame, Om neutral witness, dissolving fear and shame. I am violet light of wisdom, joy, and grace, transmuting all desire. I am planet trace. I am amethyst crystal, roaring hot white line, a chemical purple cauldron, Perusa's that I am. As the vast blue ocean, a rosy ruby stone, golden rays of sunrise, ignited ego throne. I am diamond silence, gleaming undivided way, scintillating prana, truth, dharma, the way. Om Vata fire, Om Vata flame, Om neutral witness, dissolving fear and shame. I am violet light of wisdom, joy, and grace, transmuting all desire. I am planet trace. I am amethyst crystal, roaring hot white lion, a chemical purple golden, Perusa's what I am. As the vast blue ocean, a rosy ruby stone, golden rays of sunrise, ignited ego throne. I am diamond silence, gleaming undivided, scintillating prana, truth, dharma, the way. Om Vata fire, Om Vata flame, Om neutral witness, dissolving fear and shame. I am violet light of wisdom, joy, and grace, transmitted no desire, I am trying to trace, I am never to restore, and have I done the chemical purple cauldron, versus what I am, as the best of the shall be stone, golden music, and I take the go down, I am inside, and it's going to be by the think of the planet, the way, home, by the fire, on, by the justice of the chain.
I am by the fire.
Enjoying grace, transmitted desire, I am trace, I am this crystal, row, a chemical purple, golden, produces I am, as the vast devotion, rosy beauty stone, golden roses of nice, ignited, big opening, I am diamond silence, gleaming on your body, scintillating prana, truth, dharma, the way, om, body fire, om, body flame, om, mutual witness, dissolving fear and shame, I am body light, it was enjoying grace, transmuting no desire, I am plena trace, I am amethyst crystal, rowing heaven, I am a chemical purple cauldron, produces that I am, as the vast blue ocean, a rosy ruby stone, golden razor sunrise, ignited big open, I am diamond silence, gleaming on a bodied way, scintillating prana, truth, dharma, the way, and let's go ahead and sound the om together.
With which finger?
You can hold, I'd like to do the middle finger today.
Okay. Which is?
The fire finger. I'd like to get some fire going. So we have an opportunity to feel, especially with that om. We set a matrix with the words, and then we do this om, which is a conglomerate of all words at all times ever said. Om. It's like when you're into a stadium, and everyone's shouting. It sounds like an om, really, in a way. Everyone's saying something different. All right, come on, over here, get it going, you get faster, get that pass through, and then everyone's shouting all at once, and it sounds like a.
And it really pumps up the players. Can you imagine you going to a stadium and nobody cheers? The players are like, what?
That's so true. It's so true. Can you imagine going through life and never cheering for the good in yourself, for the love that you can exude? That's what we're doing in a way. We're cheering for ourselves. We're cheering for our higher selves to expand the narrow room of the dual human ego into that infinite neutral witness. Let's give, I'd like to go into this tantric awareness and abundance. The first mantra in the 4th chapter of the book is the resurrection and crystal fire life. And these mantras are short, strong mantras that help us to understand what it is to resurrect the love, resurrect the joy.
Stuff.
Let's resurrect.
Bring it back.
Resurrect love.
Wash it, dust it off, and use it.
Even if it's been broken.
Yeah, I'm good at gluing. My fingers.
Yeah, that's
I have like war wounds from yesterday.
Yes.
We repair things because we know what they're possible of being instead of throwing them away when they break.
Yes, and instead of throwing them away, if we can repair them and make art out of them, which you do so beautifully, then...
No, like when we restored the statue, we had 4 men holding up this 500-pound thing and pushing cement in, and now he stands in all his glory.
Yes, I was thinking about him this morning too, and some of the other things that we'll do to him to really finalize that repair. So let's go to the resurrection and crystal fire life and give these mantras, which will infuse us with a deeper understanding. We'll be asking ourselves the question all day long: what are we resurrecting? What is it? How is this working? We'll be looking for it.
Yeah, but everybody knows what their inner spirit is capable of. It's just that through work, through lack of sleep, through tasks, it gets hidden under a bushel.
Yes, it does.
So through this, it's Let's take that off.
Let's do it. Let's do it. This is Resurrection and Crystal Fire Life. The first one is Resurrection of the Essence of Spiritual Giants. So we reach up to those that inspire us and we ask for these to be with us. So let's go ahead and go on. I am, the resurrection and crystal fire life of the conscious, superconscious, and ascended. And here we can say these names in gold, or you can say those that are meaningful to you. Jesus, Milarepa, Bodhidharma, Kuan Yin, Claire de Lys, Lanello, and Sir Laugh-A-Lot, Paramhansa Yogananda, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and Hans Baba, Babaji, Gautama Buddha, Green Tara, and the angel day above the Jade Temple, in every atom, cell, and electron of my 4 lower bodies, and all my affairs now made manifest. We'll do this 2 more times.
And add Jesus in there.
He is. He's the first one.
Oh.
I am, the resurrection and crystal fire life of the conscious, superconscious, and ascended Jesus, Milarepa, Bodhidharma, Kuan Yin, Claire de Lys. So just one moment, I have to say, the reason that we do this is because although we all know Jesus is the resurrection and the life.
I know, there's so many others.
There's so many others. Why would he be the only one
who can produce
the resurrection and the life? So we, all of us have.
None of those people died and came back to life supposedly, but they produce
resurrected truth. A lot of people will resurrect truth and light, and we can all do that. And if we really wanted to,
follow in their footsteps is a beautiful thing.
It really is.
You just have to study their life and find which one matches your soul.
And by the way, I have in this list here a person right after Jesus called Milarepa. And the reason that there's a great book called the Tibetan Yogi Milarepa. If you haven't already read that book, check it out. It's an amazing accounting of this person's walk into the light. And he had to walk through quite some darkness. He actually, consciously went into darkness because of the anger that he held within himself. And then later in his life, he found a true guru, a true teacher, and followed that teacher until he found enlightenment. It's a fantastic story. Very interesting. Tibet's great yogi, Milarepa. Okay, let's go on and give this mantra again. I am, the resurrection and crystal fire life of the conscious, superconscious, and ascended Jesus, Milarepa, Bodhidharma, Kuan Yin, Claire de Lys, Lanello, and Sir Laugh-A-Lot, Paramhansa Yogananda, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and Hans Baba, Babaji, Gautama Buddha, Green Tara, and the angel Deva, the Jade Temple, in every atom, cell, and electron of my 4 lower bodies and all my affairs now made manifest. I am, the resurrection and crystal fire life of the conscious, superconscious, and ascended Jesus, Milarepa, Bodhidharma, Kuan Yin, Claire de Lys, Lanello, Sir Laugh-A-Lot, Paramhansa Yogananda, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and Hans Baba, Babaji, Gautama Buddha, Green Tara, and the angel Deva of the Jade Temple, in every atom, cell, and electron, my 4 lower bodies and all my affairs now made manifest. And now of our dynamic life involvement, of the different areas of our life that we'd like to have charged with this resurrection fire and the crystal fire life of our beings. I am, the resurrection and crystal fire life of my abundantly flowing prosperity, wealth and finances, dynamic tantric relationships, radiant glowing health and resilient body, my fun-focused service to life, artful sexuality, passionate spirituality, and my glorious divine plan fulfilled, in every atom, cell, and electron of my 4 lower bodies, and all my affairs now made manifest. 2 more times. I am, the resurrection and crystal fire life of my abundantly flowing prosperity, wealth, and finances.
Dynamic tantric
relationships, radiant glowing health, and resilient body, my fun-focused service to life, artful sexuality, passionate spirituality, and my glorious divine plan fulfilled, in every atom, cell, and electron of my 4 lower bodies, and all my affairs now made manifest. I am, the resurrection and crystal fire life of my abundantly flowing prosperity, wealth, and finances, dynamic tantric relationships, radiant glowing health and resilient body, my fun-focused service to life, artful sexuality, passionate spirituality, and my glorious divine plan fulfilled, in every atom, cell, and electron of my four lower bodies and all my affairs now made manifest. And these are specific circumstances, so if you have something specific that you now would like to see resurrected in your life, you can say it when we get to this blank. And so we'll say, I am, the resurrection and crystal fire life of... And you can just come up with something that you'd like to see resurrected in your life. Maybe it's a statue. Maybe it's a painting. Maybe it's a mantra. Maybe it's something. Maybe it's a car that's broken down. Maybe it's a relationship with someone that has broken down.
Maybe it's home. Maybe it's food. Maybe it's
yes. Any of these things.
Body.
Maybe it's a part of your body that's broken. Maybe it's your prostate, or maybe it's your heart that's having a hard time. You can say that. You can see it. And when you say it, see it not in its unhealthy state, but see it in its perfectly divine state. See it within you with all the perfection of that prostate and of that heart, or whatever it is. And let's go on. In every atom, cell, and electron of their immediate physicality and functional manifestation. 2 more times. I am, the resurrection and crystal fire life of, and then again say your names, we'll just think ours. In every atom, cell, and electron of their immediate physicality and functional manifestation. 1 more time. I am, the resurrection and crystal fire life of... In every atom, cell, and electron of their immediate physicality and functional manifestation. You know, healing is a science which takes all sorts of different inputs. It takes not only good nutrition and good physical therapy and good medical care and rest and liquids and all of that, but it also takes visualization. Mm-hmm. It takes that.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, doctors, when they tell us the worst, that's the only thing we can think of.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So instead of that, you have to think of being a whole kid, like as if 16 years old, whole and well, and then the mind follows, the body follows the mind.
Would you tell a story of when your mom was ill? Oh. And they wanted to pray for your mom.
Everybody was praying. I was living in, I think I was in Croatia. Yeah, I was over at the time, and I came home. It was Sunday morning, and the church does this prayer before the service of everybody who's sick, and they were praying that my mom, with this horrible cancer. And I stood up in the middle of 2,000 people and said, don't pray that my mom is sick. Pray that she's well and thankful of her healthy body.
Yes. It's all in the wording.
It's all in the wording. And the pastor looked at me like, don't start trouble here. But I said, please, just pray that Jane Frank is completely well.
The more specific your words, the more exact they are with the verbiage and how you're structuring your prayer, the more exact will be the response.
And her body picked up 5 months. Mm-hmm. They still had a lot of stuff to do with her because she's 80 or something. But she didn't succumb to cancer.
So I would like to go on, and these are some mantras that we don't do very often, but I'd like to do them anyway. Here, this is called Puddle of Love and Warrior's Lore, and these 2 mantras in the 4th section of the book deal with this understanding that you are not just you. You are also the one that you're looking at, And you want to love that other person powerfully. And you also want to identify in a relationship. It's good when you can identify with a little bit of the polarity of yourself and the other person. That makes it a little bit more interesting in a relationship, rather than just having
two trees.
Yeah,
as the prophet says,
two politically correct.
We're going to be two trees standing without one overshadowing the other.
Mm-hmm. So these mantras actually ask for a little bit of the polarity that we have as men and women, and they're mantras that often are said in a group setting when we have groups of men and women together in meditations. Then we ask the men to look into the women's eyes and say these words. And I'll put them up on the screen so you can see them. I'm going to look into Robbie's eyes and say these things. And if you have a man nearby, or if you don't have a man nearby,
think of them.
Just think of a man that you love that you're saying this
to.
Or
a woman.
Or the other mantras for the women to say to men. So we're going to say that, and you'll have an opportunity to say that to me too. Okay, here it is. Here it goes. You are a puddle of love, joy and forgiveness streaming from high above. Come here to master infinity, nourish seedlings to full-grown trees. You, Robbie, boundless ocean of brilliant breeze. And when you say this mantra, you can say this mantra by looking into the eyes of your lover and saying it with as much sincerity as you possibly can muster, men. And if you're not mustering enough, if she thinks that you're only saying it to a level of, say, 6, then she has to hold up her hand. If you get beyond 6 or 7, then she doesn't have to hold up her hand, and she can just say, got it. But you've got to really be sincere, and you've got to dig down in your heart and make it yours until you can feel it and say it with utter sincerity. Now it's turn for the women to say it to the men. I'm looking forward to this. Here it is. And you can read this one here until you're familiar with it. And when you are familiar, you can look into the other's eyes.
I am a pillar of power.
You say it, you are a pillar of power.
Oh, you are a pillar of power.
These mantras, by the way, can be said, let's take us back, as affirmations for ourselves, because each of us has feminine and masculine quality within us. So we want to affirm it consciously so we can feel it consciously, rather than just having it be there. So let's go ahead, but in this instance, when we do it as a couple's meditation, it's breaking out the masculine and feminine a little bit in each of the other, so that she can be feminine, I can be masculine for this point in time. We can go back to being sort of politically correct, boundaried people. That I'm masculine and I'm feminine, and you're masculine and you're feminine.
You do your job, I'll do mine, and we meet in between and have a meal.
And we have an equal thing. But we want to create a little bit of inequality here so the energy can flow.
Well, this is the best with a seesaw. Mm-hmm. Somebody's up, mm-hmm. somebody's down, somebody's up, and when you're balanced, it's not so much fun.
Right. Yeah, you got to have some movement.
You have to have movement.
And so to have movement, you have to have polarity. And so we're consciously creating polarity, which is what we're doing in all of Samadhi game. We're consciously creating polarity, especially when we do the enlightenment with squares process, which says here is a polarity in this dual human ego that we're working on. Let's be conscious of it so that we can be very conscious how we use it. And the same thing with this mantra is we're saying, can we be conscious of our masculinity and femininity so that we can use it appropriately? And so go ahead now. I'll leave you with this mantra to say to the men of this world, to me.
Well, to you.
Yes. And all you women out there visualizing your men. And men just feeling it.
You are a pillar of power, focusing purpose in every hour, giving gifts from your highest source, seeds of truth in Dharma and more, conquering silence, stillness, death, warriors, lore.
I'm holding up my hand and I'm saying, give it to me again, baby.
Okay.
Give it to me again.
You are a pillar of power, focusing purpose in every hour, giving gifts from your highest source, seeds of truth in Dharma and more, conquering silence, stillness, and death, warriors, lore.
That's it. And you see, as you get more familiar with this mantra, it'll be easier to say. And you know what? Saying this to the other also puts a responsibility upon the other. It's not like all of the men of the world are just receiving your love without responsibility. This is a responsibility to be a pillar of power with integrity and courage is a massive responsibility that we need to live into as men. And women, to be a puddle of love, to be joy and forgiveness streaming from high above, that's a huge responsibility in order to hold that with integrity, with truth, and with loyalty. So, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous gift that we give to each other when we do these mantras together and say them to each other. And it's really fun when we come together in groups to pick out someone. You just want to practice this with a masculine figure or a feminine figure. So when we're in a group and there's maybe 10 women and 12 men, then we take partners in the group. And we practice with one another.
Different partners?
Well, no. If you're coupled, then you stay with your couple. But if you don't have a couple, then you choose a couple. You choose someone from the group, and it's a mutual choice. So someone will say, "Can I?" And then they'll go, "Sure."
Yeah.
I'd love to. If not,
maybe not.
maybe not. I don't feel comfortable with you.
Yeah.
And then you go on to someone else. And it's really nice to be able to share that, and you can feel the raw archetypical power of man and woman being expressed, and actually at a very deep level. And oftentimes when people do this, they'll look at each other and go, "Wow, I didn't realize that about you."
Yeah, how much you cared for me.
Yeah, because when someone says that, it means something. Anyway, that's a beautiful mantra. We'll go on to another one, but beautiful. Well, let's go on and say the one single mantra. This mantra is dedicated to living that one single love. And once you come together, man and woman, in your beautiful polarity, the spark and the fire that is ignited in that is one single flame of love. So let's go ahead and give this mantra. To be truly confident, strong in myself, connected and sharing, no worries, no fear, into my depth delve. Holding my presence with sure, firm embrace, masculinity false in my feminine erase. Allowing myself to feel her as me, surrounding the pillar of eternity. Delight in her shifting to full open lilt, excuse my desire her reality to tilt. For that I am learning a mere fruit of deep intimacy, for the flower is, you see, found in open heart transparency. To feel through the pain, the suffering, the loss, and deep into my feminine, my purpose, my gift toss. To hold all dominions from humor to death, while with sensitive movement her breath to caress. Down the front side of her body, so delicate and so soft, up through my spine to spirit aloft. Our breath thus doth mingle, and to-ness become tingle, in the glorious one single.
One forevermore fun.
Yes, let's.
Still is. Come on, let's go.
Okay, let's do it. One forevermore fun. Reconciliation, transmutation, beatitude, unification. Subtle samadhi inside, nirvana reside. Holographic harmony, love, wisdom, and euphony brings the wholeness of sacred passion to 0-point congruity. We now embody the energetic purity, blue-green meld in crystal clarity. Share this union of spirit, essence of the heart and soul's eternal blending quintessence. I am. Do you remember that?
It's beautiful.
I sent that to you. Yes. And I felt it is such a true, this is a true expression of love, and that each of us can and will express that love when we desire to let go of the dual human ego and flow into that oneness, which is our true self, the neutral witness. Let's go back and just see if there's another mantra here for us to give. Let's give the 9 keys. These are mantras that, again, we haven't given very often. The 9 keys have to do with the 9 chakras, these 9 chakras, so to speak, the core and the 7 chakras.
7 plus 2 more. What's the other 2?
Okay, the core I'm calling a chakra. The core light, which is the elevator of consciousness. It's the oneness that exists within us all. I consider that the chakra, that I am chakra. And then the 7 chakras that most people talk about are 7, but I added 1, the 8th chakra, the thymus chakra. The thymus chakra is just above the heart chakra, You can feel it when you're in a real, we all have felt it, no matter whether you're on a path of yoga or not. When you're in a state of reverie and you're standing looking at something that inspires your love, not only does the heart start to glow really big, that's the heart chakra. We've all felt this. The heart will open up and you just go, oh God, and sometimes it gets so deep that it's painful. That is the heart chakra opening. We've all experienced it. It doesn't take yoga and breathing and anything to happen. That's the heart chakra, and it's opening up. The thymus chakra is a little bit above that, and you'll feel it as a very fine violin type chord. It's like a hum, or like that hum. Yes, like that hum. And it can also be. I liken it in this mantra to aspen trees.
Yeah.
As they tinkle and shiver and shimmer in the light and sound.
When you take a hike.
It's almost like that sound of feeling that sound, and it gives you that sense of
taking care of bigger, larger universe, larger God, larger something else other than mundane.
Yeah, and it takes you. It really does. It's just a little step higher.
Beautiful.
A little step more. What am I going to say? Not denunce. You're not attached. Detached is what I was going to say. So it's a little bit more detached than the heart. The heart still is a little bit of attachment to the sentimentality.
This is more like a whisper.
It's like a whisper, and it's a little bit more impersonal. A little bit more, but it's like really, really wide open. So let's give the 9 keys and see if we can just remind ourselves that there are keys to entering each of these chakras. And if you have your own copy, you can see which of these chakras they intend and how you can think about them, and you can see how they can actually work.
Holding all,
yet bound by none, radiant core, omniscient one, flowing river of boundless light, Sushumna I am, pearly bright. Accepting illusion of my death, banish I fear, desire to rest. Dispassion and earthly stillness reigns, Mother Kundalini in my veins. Substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen, supports my life in total flow. From material delusion am I weaned. Ego, control, personality, formula for mortality. I witness illusion impersonally. Solar fires now rise to set me free. Forgiving illusion, duplicity, betrayal, let knots of ego be free of veil. As breath flows in gentle equanimity, the heart be restored to deep flowing charity. Surrendering anxiety, fear, grief, influx of energy, shimmering leaf. Joie de vie, youth, immortality. Don't worry, be happy. Not my will, but thine be done. Ether channeled expands the one. Pure speech and upright held. Pillar of the world, new paradigm weld. No such thing as loss or gain. American dream, pleasure, pain. Mine eye be single on oneness frame. Vision quest, directions aim.
Tingling flames
burst from my crown. In infinite ocean I am drowned. With golden stream of Buddhic unity, forever I accept my sacred divinity. Let's go ahead and give these again. Again, just, meditating on these keys, these beatitudes, really, if you will, that allow us to enter into each of the chakras, each of the blessedness of each chakra. Holding all, yet bound by none, radiant core, omniscient one, flowing river of boundless light, Sushumna I am, pearly bright. Accepting illusion of my death, banish I fear, desire to rest. Dispassion and earthly stillness reigns, Mother Kundalini in my veins. Substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen, supports my life in total flow. From material delusion am I weaned. Ego, control, personality, formula for mortality. I witness illusion impersonally. Solar fires now rise to set me free. Forgiving illusion, duplicity, betrayal, let knots of ego be free of veil. As breath flows in gentle equanimity, the heart be restored to deep flowing charity. Surrendering anxiety, fear, grief, influx of energy, shimmering leaf. Joie de vie, youth, immortality. Don't worry, be happy. Not my will, but thine be done. Ether channeled expands the one. Pure speech now upright held. Pillar of the world, new paradigm weld. No such thing as loss or gain. American dream, pleasure, pain. Mine eye be single on oneness frame. Vision quest, directions aim. Tingling flames burst from my crown. In infinite ocean I am drowned. With golden streams of Buddhic unity. Forever I accept my sacred divinity. And one more time through for this mantra. Giving it 3 times the fire, the love, the wisdom, and the power. Holding all yet bound by none, radiant core omniscient one, flowing river of boundless light, Sushumna I am, pearly bright. Except an illusion of my death, banish I fear, desire to rest. Dispassion and earthly stillness reigns, Mother Kundalini in my veins. Substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen, supports my life and total flow. From material delusion am I weaned. Ego, control, personality, formula for mortality. I witness illusion impersonally. Solar fires now arise to set me free. Forgiving illusion, duplicity, betrayal. Let knots of ego be free of veil. As breath flows in gentle equanimity, the heart be restored to deep flowing charity. Surrendering anxiety, fear, grief, influx of energy, shimmering leaf. Joie de vie, youth, immortality. Don't worry, be happy. Not my will, but thine be done. Ether channeled expands the one. Pure speech upright held. Pillar of the world, new paradigm weld. No such thing as loss or gain. American dream, pleasure, pain. Mine eye be single on oneness frame. Vision quest, directions aim. Tingling flames burst from my crown. In infinite ocean I am drowned. With golden stream of Buddhic unity. Forever I accept my sacred divinity. All the chakras of the spine like this dragon, with its mouth and its tail, all lit up, all glowing with light. Let's just sit for a few moments and do some of this meditation now on these mantras that we've given, the ideas that we've inculcated. And we can even breathe down the front side of the body, and as we expel a little contraction of the perineum and shivering up the spine. I'm just taking a few minutes to rest in the silence. We can always feel in those moments whether we've actually let go of our narrow room and allowed ourselves to move into this new room in the mansion of our Godhood, in the mansion of our God self, this room that includes everything, is inclusive, is one with all. Very peaceful. And if you're still revolving ideas of yin and yang, of push and pull, of loss and gain, you haven't gotten there yet. You can just feel it if you're still thinking, But as soon as you go, let go and let yourself move into that space, then you're there. let's do the closing pillar of light, the pillar of the world. This is a mantra that we can do in the beginning, we can do it at the end, you can do it anytime, do it in the middle of your set of mantras. And we'll ensconce ourselves in this light. We'll do it 3 times through, really establishing that pillar of light for ourselves, really establishing ourselves in that protective envelope. We've invoked a lot of light here today. We've spoken about a lot of ways of entering into the light, about the philosophy of it, the simple yogic philosophy of entering into the light. This is not a highfalutin philosophy. This is a philosophy of practicality that we can use. So let's do it. Let's do this. Let's expand our narrow room by entering into that infinite pillar of light. Sublime I am, Samadhi that I am, enfolding me now in that mighty, magic, electronic pillar of cosmic light substance. My identification with its magnificent humility and thoughtful creativity, so powerful and complete, that I artfully and magically alter every polarity with healing unity. Within this majestic pillar of light blazes that love as the violet, compassionate flame. Enter and around my etheric, mental, emotional, and physical bodies, effortlessly dissolving, consuming, transmuting, reconciling the dualities of my human ego, charging my world and all I contact with a tangible substance, living awareness and conscious activity, the presence and superconscious samadhi of all enlightened beings, liberated and ascended masters, seeing, feeling, and hearing this light as it shines, radiates, and resonates within me as a visible pillar of the world, stabilized, supported, and sustained by the brilliant, elegant One, and infinitely sensitive to that invulnerable state of divine I am Samadhi. Sublime I am Samadhi that I am, enfolding me now in that mighty, magic, electronic pillar of cosmic light substance, my identification with its magnificent humility and thoughtful creativity,
so powerful
and complete, that I artfully and magically alter every polarity with healing unity. Within this majestic pillar of light blazes that love as the violet, compassionate flame. In, through, and around my etheric, mental, emotional, and physical bodies, effortlessly dissolving, consuming, transmuting, reconciling the dualities of my human ego, charging my world and all I contact with the tangible substance, living awareness and conscious activity, the presence and superconscious samadhi of all enlightened beings, liberated and ascended masters, seeing, feeling, and hearing this light as it shines, radiates, and resonates within me as a visible pillar of the world, stabilized, supported, and sustained by the brilliant, elegant One, and infinitely sensitive to that invulnerable state of divine I am Samadhi. Sublime I am Samadhi that I am, enfolding me now in that mighty, magic, electronic pillar of cosmic light substance, my identification with its magnificent humility and thoughtful creativity, so powerful and complete, that I artfully and magically alter every polarity with healing unity. Within this majestic pillar of light blazes that love as the violet, compassionate flame. In, through, and around my etheric, mental, emotional, and physical bodies, effortlessly dissolving, consuming, transmuting, and reconciling the dualities of my human ego, charging my world and all I contact with the tangible substance, living awareness and conscious activity, the presence and superconscious samadhi of all enlightened beings, liberated and ascended masters, seeing, feeling, and hearing this light as it shines, radiates, and resonates within me as a visible pillar of the world, stabilized, supported, and sustained
by the brilliant,
elegant One, and infinitely sensitive to that invulnerable state of divine I am Samadhi. And let's go ahead and give the Om, just with the hands up. Eternity is my home. I do all that is necessary to actualize this ever-fresh realization and organize my life around it. Let's see if we can find a closing. in the fullness of cosmic joy. We accept this and miracles manifest here and now with unconditional love, wisdom, and power, anchored in the earth, air, fire, water, and akasha, and tangibly manifest in our lives and the lives of all evolutions of the light throughout cosmos. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om. Om. Om.
Start the day.
So we've expanded our narrow room, and once you have an expanded room, you can put stuff in it. You can live in it. You can populate it with all sorts of miracles and love and art.
Yeah.
And if you're just constantly constrained by that dual human ego consciousness, it really gets tight. And I think that's what they call, when people say, I just feel so tight.
That's what spring cleaning's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Spring clean it, dust it off, see what it's worth, and put it back on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Use it too.
Use it. And we can do that with our consciousness. We can open it up with this samadhi game, dedicating ourselves this spring to really focusing in on samadhi and focusing in on the practice, the practical practice of daily taking a mantra. It doesn't have to be a lot. Just create a momentum in your life that establishes this starts to push with pressure against the walls of your dual human ego and says, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, until finally you look around yourself and you go, wow.
The walls are expanded.
Wow, there's a new room here.
Yeah.
There's a new place to put my things and arrange them beautifully, feng shui, vastu, make it so it's really gorgeous and energetically fine. Anything else you want to share before
we have a lot to do today.
Yes, we do. We have quite a bit. So thank you for joining us Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 o'clock for music, usually. Sometimes today we're a little late with the music, but we got it. Yeah. And 8:30 for the processing. And occasionally just a spontaneous, free-flowing broadcast. We might do one this coming weekend as well. So keep in tune. Mm-hmm. We love you. Thank you for joining us, Linda and Barbara and our guests and all those who watch these archived versions who will remain nameless. But we see numbers rising every week watching these. How many was it last week? 40, 50? Mm-hmm. Views.
70.
70. So, it's a growing tribe, and stay with it and keep up the good work, everyone. It's felt. We can feel that, you're doing these, and it encourages Robbie and I to stay consistent as well when we can feel that you're with us and doing them. And Barbara says she's going to go eat some samadhi chocolate right now. By the way, chocolate's great for you. It has, great antioxidants, and Barbara can tell you all about that if you want to check her out on Facebook. Can tell you all about that chocolate. It's so healthy, and a little bit every day, a little bit. It doesn't have to be a whole bar.
You don't have to eat the whole thing. No obsessive compulsive stuff.
You take it like a vitamin. It's great stuff for you. All right, well, lots of love. We're going to leave you with some party music, and Robbie and I say to you, because something happened there.